Okay, guys, Mr. Ashby here. Just want to go over the quiz with you real quick. Front page is on tangents. I've already got everything filled out, so I'm really just going to talk you through the answers to these if you had any kind of trouble on the quiz. So tangents, we know any point on a tangent is equidistant to where it intersects a circle. So in other words, if that was 6, this is 6. If the top one was 10, the one on the top left is 10. The one on the bottom right here is 5, then that would mean that is 5. Simply add up the length of each side to get the perimeter, and that was 42 inches. You did have to include units. That was part of the directions there. Make sure you include units. The second question is pretty similar to that. We look at the second question, and the only difference is now instead of trying to find the perimeter, we're given the perimeter, we're trying to work backwards. So if this right here is x, that means that this would also be length x, 25 and 25, 5 and 5. So 5 plus 5 plus 25 plus 25, that equals 60. 2x plus 60 is 84. 2x is 24. X equals 12. So x is 12 inches. Number 3 was one that was a little bit challenging just because of the way that you had to foil this. I think most of you guys probably recognize Pythagorean theorem here. 8 squared plus x squared equals the quantity, the length of this guy here. The length of this guy here is x plus 5. That's his length. And we have to square that. When you square x plus 5, it's not x squared plus 25. Right? If you got x squared plus 25, you probably got stuck because you had 64 equals 25 and you weren't really sure what to do at that point. What you really are supposed to do is you're really supposed to foil that. So x plus 5 squared, remember when you do x plus 5 squared, there's a middle term. You got plus 5x for a total of plus 10x. The x squareds cancel. So you're just left with 64 equals 10x plus 25. Subtract 25 from both sides. Divide by 10. And the answer is 3.9 inches. For question number 4, we know that a tangent line intersects a circle and a radius at 90 degrees. So this essentially right here, this shape right here is essentially a kite. If we look at that, it's kind of like a kite. That's 90, that's 90, plus 35 plus 360, or equals 360, because it's quadrilateral. So we end up getting x equals 145. X equals 145 degrees. On the back page, we look at the secants. Numbers 5 and 6 were straightforward with the formulas, no tricks at all there. For this one, this little angle A, I'm just calling it A. You could call it any variable that you want. That's going to be 1/2 of 160 plus 100. So A is 130. And since A is 130, this is a linear pair. Linear pair adds up to 180, so x equals 50. 180 minus 130 is 50. We look at number 6. This is just a formula. 1/2 the outside arc minus the inside arc. So that's 1/2 of 80, which is 40 degrees. That's just the formula. Number 7 is pretty close to number 6. They're not that much different. The only difference is that you had to figure out basically what this inside arc is. Since a circle is 360, 360 minus 250, that would leave me with 110. So it's just 1/2 of the quantity. 250 minus 110, half of 140 is 70 degrees. Last but not least, x was pretty easy to solve. X is just half of 126, so x was 63. Where you had to think a little bit on this one was how to solve for y. In order to get y, there was actually 2 methods that you could have used. The one that I used was, I know a whole circle is 360, so I added the 2 arcs that I knew together, subtracted from 360, I was left with 142. So a equaled 142. And y was simply just half of 142, or 71 degrees. Another thing you could have done, which would have been a little craftier, half of 92 is 46, and you already knew that this was 63, and so those 3 angles would add up to 180. And so 46 plus 63, subtract from 180, you would get 71 degrees. So either way, there's 2 different ways of solving that. Didn't matter which one you used to solve it. I think the first way was a little bit easier. But that's it. Hope you guys did okay, and have a good day.